ukephi njengoba seshilo okay ngicela ufike liqela ukephi inkosi yomhlaba umusa unhlolanje inyanga yesithupha unyakeni wama-Afrika uyidlozi lokuqala emhlabeni isikhathi sikagephi isikhathi sesivuno onyakeni futhi kube isikhathi sokuhlangana kwezinja ingakho zihlola kuphinde kube isikhathi sokulapha imizimba ibuthakathaka ikakhulu entsheni sinuthi ukuxazulula izinkinga emndenini ngokuqondana because afanye mhlawumbe ngisikhuluma ngokuthi siprotect izinto ukuthi ngifundile ngikwazi ukcreate iharmony efamily makhetha kubalekile ifamily iharmony mele besendlini iqala kube nomzwana endlini ngathi sikwazi ukuphumela ngaphandle community kuphumela esizweni so iharmony makhetha kubaleka kakhulu so isikhathi sakhe isikhathi sokwenza ama-family meeting ayisaphuza kunjalo makhetha isho njalo besikhalele isikhathi sokwenza ama-family meeting lokho lapha u-ankeni mhlawumbe uxabene last week umalume waxabana last year or umalume wazi baxabene bethu ungabahlanganisa wena ezokuzocreate peace unomsebenzi endlini unlike uzograduatela uba yilawyer maqatshele endlini lokulawyer abakwazi ukcreate peace ngoba iyamona ngithi sihlangane kahlaniswe ihamoni Nancy play unit for economy. Yes. So that play unit color FMI. Okay, before FMI color I'm clear. Name color united. United all these 12 gods. So I united in my pele. We should ask me from pele. Okay, we should compare. We set in respect. What people set me make it's like you try and respect how we set. We set on control. We set people even. And we said, "Man, we don't control." We slave guy. We said, "Young boys, you say we no more. I'm to the bank. We go see the bank. Mama, you control you said. We said, "You guys slave sir. You go mama and so you go harmony." So you don't get that. Family harmony. You can't get a cool name. Incha, you basically, Mkhulu Mlaba asho incha you make a living in this family. So incha we go you unite and matter. We have an man. Move him back. I'm just on the TV after the trial. I'm a father balloon. Why don't I baptize a balloon? Now we try to emphasize and about baptism in this way. Actually, every land is hungry, is modeling up to the food, but only something about what I am. Moyo party can be the and now I go to win up here and so I'm a little bit now. Or go down ship and never market, okay, Bukala is correct market. And EPI first, you put it through that is so. EPI by pallet claim. Yeah, you see that you go from pallet claim and put it. You put the PPI is one target thing by the pallet claim. And so much about an alcohol market. Definitely market, and yes, we have the school to shake coupon with some friends. Who shall you can near kind of business clean my market has 2008 market now is blowing my fella on my petit town busy so I caught it. Come on, to me. My petit and you pay my petit for the fireman. That down 80 bar mamma silver packet. And my call with your picture wins up. I was not thinking, I know, why could be up? But what you told in silver packet? Snell and the Lambi water market. I'm a cat. An island in a thousand of cock. I wouldn't find a book. I was that was spicy. With a communicator, and I would see. Yeah, I would tell them what's your soup to a macula without a macula. But don't come a shammer or among the buffalo moves. Or a bone of Busuba. Let to buy. But shoot about the matronly. Tina shoot at his post. This is a new post. I shoot on your Tomokula and the post his ego, me. Pelagi, yourself is up at myself. That's why I'm going to say, self. And the last time you said, me, don't give you unity. The Africans unity. Individuality is crashing. I mean, there's a divide. And so, they self-emphasize that division is now. We look myself. You can't make it. We're eating, okay, Nyanga kept February hands into the Angena. Each is Elstanson and Oman in Taga, Ember. Much is so committed as a line. Organize the ground yet, Marina, rather, Castle Island, and Hamlet coming, my living ground. And it's coming, the ground and I reach. Every time I bam. First name Kumbule, any leaching Bambai. Mother is coming leader. My Bamba link reminder something. First link reminder, which will make a shine here. My Bamba is committed and born, meaning I born. One gratification is one thing, line equality in the high step. Since my Bambi, the Column Bonjour, Mobile. My Bamba in Kumbulu, Bonjour, unit no place. No, of course, we don't know what is any like any constitution more carefully. Mask when coming out, command that out, no something like that. But I would watch out. I can't say, you know, most of we have that back to Mezan, everywhere, no tomb, new moon, because you say, Slimel about that. And so, see that unit, Sakubuza, and Kubuzu, a bit your peg. It's just not so, it's in a piece. I'm quite able man, I'm with the match like a man bamba, so I'm Zamuti, young Kumu, my bam, young Kumus, and over young Gilson, some of my image. And so I don't about I create, or I think about hands, which let that complete the Stavang is negative. No film is any what desire, many crash. Now, Milanta, music, go about with the Quatisar, who can take me to get around to Wood again, what I'm Udus part, who's more something, saying I'm behind my actions on that. Say, Tabangas, Mafia, here and Chinese bomb, it's someone in UK, many will control, government really see control. In the Sifunda, I'm so, and so, we should see how much longer that's important to say now. Who call me our team is our children. Umbala, each cherry, Umbala, Onsu, Brown. This is Kalaile, it's Mutaba to the Brown, Umbala. As my mother going to the crown, you are zooming another season. So was in my case. You put you prawn, yeah, you pull on it. Now, what does it say? I'm a bronze. Or can I now imagine corporate plans? Corporate who does say no plus, but money to be unclear. This thing, this material, you understand good thing, you tell them the answer. So, they make it. So, people said, they put the poor child in the sense, Marcella Panama said, you call me if your thing is that's what said now. You call me put here. Amaka sent he pack olive. We eat starter, isheti, ipesi, izilwane, iguzi, hands, hope, dark, umbojane, ukhalishwe, manguzi, isigcili, kishi, Liza. Okay, yeah, so come on the store of market, this market when I came not Labuyo, Nababugela, Mamabona, Mama Orta, Konala, but type of Konala Ort, who kept me consul attend all that post.
Watch drumming tutorials without Wi-Fi and jam uninterrupted.
Sivusele kuwo wonke umuntu okhonile ukuthola ithuba lokunyathela namhlanje. Siyavusela nakubo bonke abasemakhaya abasibukele through ama-channels ethu. Sithi Ndlovukazi, Angwedi, Anomkhubulwane, Antu, Antu.
Antu.
Anum tutu.
Anum tutu.
Anum tutu.
Anum tutu.
Anum tutu.
Anum tutu.
Anum zam.
Anum zam.
Anum zam.
Anum zam.
Azinzis.
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 Avusamas.
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 Ayimotep.
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 Aloli.
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 Thokozani. Hayi, siyabonga nje ukuthi namhlanje before siqala lisibulise ngemvulo. Last week siwitnessile sonke masivalelisa inkosana. Siwitnesse ama-Falcon la. Manje siyabonga sibonga ikhalenda. Sibonga ikhalenda ngoba ikhalenda i-guide yayo yonke into. Yonke into iyaconfirmwa ikhalenda. Now the most significant thing eyenzakele makungena le season is the balances of forces international. Russia attacked Ukraine. Hey, makungena nje ugebe ngoba hypocrisy of the world, it's too much. It takes nothing for other countries to then make other countries insecure. America ifunani at the borders of Russia. Ifunani America at the border of Russia. America has bombed so many countries in the world. And for what? Ukuthi bona they are the police of the world. And angeke yenzakale leyo nto leyo. Remember ukuthi we are just 5-2 to the age of Aquarius. We transiting maybe kusele boma 2 degrees. Yingakho kune shift. There is a change. It means ukuthi ushintsho lizoba khona. Ushintsho lizoba khona. And Africa is going to rise again as a superpower, as it was before. So these are the signs. Remember, Satitina Sipila, Nama signs. We notice some signs ukuthi kwenzakalani. So we read some signs all the time. Remember ukuthi ugap ubaba ka Asa njengoba inkosana ishilo uOset uNebtet no Oset, meaning ukuthi yi-grandfather ka Heru ugap. It means ukuthi before, remember ukuthi uAsa yidlozi lokuqala emhlabeni uma kudaleka i-physicality. Remember mesikhuluma ngogap sikhuluma ngani? Sikhuluma ngomhlaba, but not only do we mean the physical soil, kepha sikhuluma ngale magnetic force. I-magnetic force that is in everything ephilayo. You understand? Yiyo ke le esikhuluma ngayo mesikhuluma ngogap, ngoba masithi ugap uhlangane nonuthi, right? Kepha bahlukaniswa ushu. It means ukuthi there was then birth of these abelungu banokubiza lento bathi the 5 basic solids that formed manifestation here on earth. And thina ke siwazi ngokuthi uAsa, uOset, uNebtet, uSet. Do you understand? Manje ke nayo ke isifundo esikhulu kakhulu about ugap. Ukuthi ugap is not only responsible for physicality, but ugap ukuthiwa uyena owenzela wonke amadlozi umphahla. Njengoba sazi ukuthi abelungu bashoda nje ngomphahla. Bashoda ngosiko. Bashoda ngosiko. You understand? Meaning futhi ugap uye ohlonitshwayo amadlozi, because without ugap no note bengeke kube namadlozi emhlabeni azodala impilo. And manje masiletha la ku science, remember sikhulume nge-electric field. Manje ugap is that magnetic field of earth esarounda nawe lento uyazi ngokuthi isithunzi. Uma uhlangana nomuntu umuzwe ukuthi isithunzi sakhe siyakusinda. Yeah, it means ukuthi wena uresonator at an opposite pole yalowo muntu. Do you understand? Because if ama-poles ayafana, they repel each other. So yini ke uma urepella umuntu, it means ukuthi asizwani. Do you understand? But manje if mina I'm of an opposite pole, remember sathi we have lento bayibiza ukuthi i-magnet in our system that always gravitates towards the northern marker. Do you understand? The magnetic north. Kukhulunywa ngani? Kukhulunywa ngawo lo moya kaGap. Do you understand? So it means ukuthi lo moya kaGap is very active in everything that lives on earth. Yonke into icontrolwa yilo moya kaGap. And once you understand the science yayo, uzogcina wenza ama-magic. Uzogcina so levitator. Just like ngibona ama-video lapha, there were some people like Africa, they were levitating. But a lot of comments from black people were saying that is evilness. And that is African science, because people understand that the electromagnetic field. How do I manipulate this field? Ukuze mina ngikhone ke ukuthi ngidefy igravity. That is African science. So manje ke singaboyithuka izinto esingazazi. And because of colonization la emakhaya ugcina wena ngoba umlungu uthe anything ehambelana nomoya ubusathana. That is what umlungu ayishilo. And nabo iningi labo, they do admit ukuthi they don't have the ability that black people have. So manje wena ke if uzothuka that natural ability yakho ifana nomuntu othuka i-666 athi 666 is evilness. That is devil. Lapho ke uzwa the whole judge ya South Africa umkhwengu athuka i-666 that is the sign of the beast. That is the level of how thina singabantu we have regressed. Why? Because i-consciousness yethu is no longer ku-gap, is no longer ku-nuthi. Sesisenyameni. You need to understand ukuthi unuthi no gap i-effect yabo lakini ingangenza ukuthi ngenzeni naturally. That is why I was saying the other day ukuthi ubozama yonke into. Ngisho i-example nje ukuthi uthumele telepathic message emntwini ubone ukuthi lo muntu uzoresponda na. Do you understand? Because you are training your mind to remember again the things that you used to know. Abanye abantu, they are good at sending. Abanye abantu, they are good at receiving. So you've got to test yourself. So that uzazi ukuthi mina kahle kahle ngikuphi. Ngathi ngicabanga ngento yenzakale na. Do you understand? Yiyo ke leyo science leyo okumele ivuke, and iyavuka manje. That is why uzothola ukuthi there's a lot of science, African science, being demonstrated by abantu base-Africa. But because of ukusontwa, we have been twisted a lot. we now view that as evilness, which is why we are here to deal with that, residue of the colonial mindset. So that umuntu omnyama must realize the natural ability, the natural power that we have as African people. So, i-calendar, we're talking about i-calendar kahle is the source yayo yonke into. I-calendar is the source yayo yonke into, because without the calendar, we wouldn't know ukuthi what position are we in now. We wouldn't know ukuthi the next season kwenzakalani. Do you understand? But now, because of Sinet guide esishelo hokhokho bethu, we know now ukuthi ilanga is about to hibernate. That is why the coming season is season year abundance. The great, harvest. Why? Because yonke into seyiredi ukuthi kuyavunwa. And the leyo nto uyibonakala yenza kuphi? Eswazini. Manje okhokho bathwelindisha bazisa kuphi? Esigodlweni. Ukuthi kuyodla inkosi qala before bona they partake in that harvest. Inkosi yaluma ngalesikhathi. You understand? So manje ke Africa, as much as we forgot, but there is little in knowledge esele. Kokhokho bethu, because who would have thought ukuthi timing could be this perfect? Ukuthi i-calendar ichaza lo moya okhona ngalendlela, and in the physicality abantu generally benza lokho. Do you understand? As much as ukuthi bebesiphambanisele basinikeze i-calendar wrong, kepha ikhona insalela. The remains of the knowledge system yase-Africa always resisted ukuthi ingcwatshwe completely. Sesikhuluma ukuthi isivuno esikhulu is the big harvest now, this season. Leyo nto leyo siyayibona iyenzakala physical. Le elenduza ngase-Natal kukhulunywa ngokuthi kunomkhosi wamagama. Nase-Swaziland kukhulunywa ngomkhosi wamagama. Mina ukuthi i-harvest time now. Whether kula eNatal or kuse-Swaziland, yonke indawo, iya-confirma ukuthi yisikhathi sesivuno esikhulu manje. What are we then supposed to do, Tina? Kumele siziprepare ngoba the next season, remember, asisakho too physical. Sesingene emoyeni, meaning ukuthi we now building what we want to manifest in September from now to March. Tina, I remember last week in Kulume about the virtual school, Kemit virtual school. Infrastructure sesibekile. But manje sizitshele ukuthi sizoyilontsha vele ngoSeptember. So it means ukuthi sonke le period le sifukamele lento la nala. Ukuze by September iphumelele. So kuyadependa ke ukuthi abantu bona bazobe bajule ngani. Because manje physicality kuthiwa lapha ku March ku Oset kuyahlukana. Inhlukano between umoya nenyanga. Meaning ukuthi we no longer, because the sun is hibernating, we're not supposed to be physical. Kumele ngabe sisemakhaya manje. Do you understand? Sakha izinto ngomoya. Ngoba into mele uyihlanganise la emqondweni qala. Remember ukuthi indlu, even i-architect, i-architect yonke into iqala la. Everything begins in the mind before it is physical. So manje leso skill bese sisikhohlile ukuthi into uyisupporta uyakha ngokamoya kuqala before it becomes physical. So manje ke ugap uzosibonisa ke ukuthi this is the time to actually prepare. Siya elentuzeni emangwaneni siyoyenza isililo sikaNomkhubulwane. Senza isililo sikaNomkhubulwane ngoba singabalandeli bakaHeru. We are the followers of the sun. It means after the 21st asisatshakaduli njengabo bonke abantu emhlabeni. Thina siyazi ukuthi sizilile. We are in hibernation now. Yini ke lokho kuzila? It means ukuthi you need to guard against what stays in your mind, your thoughts. Kahle kahle. Ama thoughts akho must be those thoughts that are constructive. Ngoba isikhathi ska Oset. Oset uNomkhubulwane is the master magician. It means ukuthi when you enter that season ka Oset, yonke into ehambelana neheka, the natural magic, is going to be possible. Why? Because you are also part of Oset. Do you understand? It means ukuthi once you can feed your mind with positivity. Definitely by September sizobona ngezenzo. Hayi ngomazwi akho. Sobona ngama product. Ukuthi what are you producing then? Do you understand? Lento siloko siyayikhuluma ngathi insumansumane kepha iyiqiniso. Market. Kumele si produce. We need to produce something. Asikwazi nje ukuthi to assemble and keep talking about a parallel system, but a parallel system that we are not ready to build. Yes. Do you understand? If you have the potential of something, look, you don't need a degree for you to be able to fully express the talent lakho. It means everything that comes natural to you. Ama skills akho. Awasebenze. Let them work to build a nation yet. Because you can't talk about a parallel system Guguti. There are no people who are ready to roll the sleeves and work. And the land we witness it. Who's wrong? Huh? Ama Judah. May keep a number. Wonke. Abamba low number. And the bonga band, they make sure that they contribute towards that thing. Do you understand? Manje angazi ukuthi thina yini inkinga. Ungasabi man. Ngoba abanye abantu they are in the closet. Kahle kahle. Do you understand? They need to be liberated. Usabani. Huh? Asikho isidingo sokuthi usabe. Why? Because sidinga italent lakho. There was the Ilenduza actual case. Ubebuza ukuthi when do we assemble at the Credo village again? But now, the question is, are we ready to assemble again? Because we can't waste each other's time. Ukuthi siyohlangana nje without anything tangible ebambekayo. It means ukuthi we have set up it came chat so that we develop a platform where we are able ukuthi sihombe lama talent ebantwini. And this is our home, uyathanda noma uthanda. Sifuna wonke umuntu oku-GEK must produce. Must produce something. Uke uze la uzosi explainela ngeproduct or service yakho. Ukuthi nakhu mina engikhona ukwenza. That is natural to me. I don't need ukuthi ngibe under anybody. I can live anywhere. Why? Because I have found myself.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah.
Manje inkinga yokuthi singenza ngazi noma yini kahle kahle makhaya. Sisafuna ukuphalaza sizenze zonke lezi zinto lezi. Ukuqosha vele silikhiphe lekhubalo labelungu. No, mina into I'm so obsessed with my products makhaya. It doesn't matter ukuthi product encane kanjani. Look, there's so much need. We are now in the season gap. The season your physicality. It means ukuthi you only have to look at our problems omnyama. What we are facing as a black nation. Then just come up with one solution amongst the millions of the problems that we are facing. Remember ukuthi ngathi mina abo Bab Credo nabo Imhotep are amongst us. Abo Hatshepsut, abo Nefertari, Nefertiti, they're amongst us. Manje tetelani le mimoya. Give full expression to this energy that wants to express again. And there is cartilage. There's no other better time for you as an African person to prepare for the future. Niyawubona umhlaba wonke is falling. If not natural disasters, bashayana bodwa. Thina sithi indala zombili. Kodwa bamini. Indala zombili sithathane vele. Ukuze ke thina ke remember ngathi mina. We need to reassume our position as parents of humanity. And we can't claim parenthood. If we are lazy, we can't produce. Khona manje, lento yenzakala ne-Ukraine, it can happen here. The day we decide ukuthi asisafuni nix ngale system, what will happen to us? Leyo. And it's unavoidable. Are we ready for Leon? Are we ready for Leon? Tina sibhizi namasavana sobeka la ekhaya. Amabhunu ayatrenya. Because they can foresee ukuthi lento okumele meaning ukuthi a dream that was deferred long time ago is now calling for attention. Its system ayina chance. It has to address the issue of an African person. It has to address the issue of umhlaba wabantu. And our economy. Remember ukuthi akuthathwanga nje umhlaba. Umhlaba ubune inkomo unayo yonke into. So it's that time now. Ukuthi we need to rise up. And as we rise up nje ngomlomo kumele senze. We need to act. Ifana nento ukuthi even in our communities, a social, a platform. Baneng abantu la. Kepha abantu bathulile. A very strange thing yenzakala ku Kemi Church. I think there's only one kingdom that is not active there. I don't know whether in the kingdom ka Asa. The very same people who are supposed to lead us, they are quiet. Why are they quiet? It means ukuthi that kingdom kumele sibukisise ukuthi how do we activate that kingdom again? It means ukuthi ayinamholi, all right. Because if you know mholi, all right, you need to engage bonke abantu. And the land ukuthi abantu, be claiming ukuthi, hey mina, How can ungayazi talent lakho man? No, but honestly, how come you don't know your talent and you are reading the calendar? How come you don't know your talent? Because the calendar explains exactly who you are. Make chaza uGap ubani ongaba confused ngabantu abazalwe ngoGap. It even explains ukuthi these are the possible professions you might be drawn to. So manje yini inkinga makhesi? And the lento ayibhalwanga ngesiChina or isiJuda. Ibhalwe ngesintu. Manje yini inkinga? Huh? Hayi man asukumeni because wena makhesi. uGap it's all about action. It's all about action. Ukuthi masidlula kule season kune mark esishiyi. Do you understand? And there isn't the ways the align ngakhona. You must never lose that timing ye alignment. Uma kufika into ethi ngenze into manje, you've got to do it right then. Because if you don't do it, you lose. You lose. Mengabuza nje bangakho abantu who are prepared, who have the vision of what they want to see manifest in September. Huh? It's all about that, Makesh. Bugani. If future, let us see is preparing a platform for wonke umuntu ukuthi abe nethuba to be a billionaire. Manje, you won't make billions if you are not getting ready now.
Red Bull gives you wings.
In future, you prepare the future now. Not when it's now confronting you. Too late. Because by then, all sorts of opportunities will be there to grab those opportunities. So it means, Uguti, you need to prepare manje. Uguti mean at the day we realize the unity that we want, this is what I'm going to offer to my people. You have more than 40 million as your potential clients. Because that is why we are pushing for that unity. So that we deal with the poverty forever. I let you piecemeal. Sambe, for Ibana. Sibuyele move again. We've been doing that for all these years. Ever since we're under the control of this, Western construct. So now it's about coming up with long-term solutions. Minangati the other day, there are millions of products that we need to replace in our communities. Irandi lami manje, nisho ne petrol. Make you tell a petrol. I make sure Guti, if angikageganga isimo, I make sure Guti I support amakaraja la ilokishini. It's intentional. I make it, a conscious decision for me to do that. It means Uguti, as much as because you never know who owns the garage. Because a lot of people are fronting, line of sheep. Do you understand? Until Tina, we establish our own businesses and garages. And any that we must learn from other people. Look, this is how they do it. Let's say okay, kune Pakistan la. Le Pakistan mele phume. And then now umhlaba ufuna le saspass. umhlaba kana send. Tina siya contributor to give him. That gives us equity in that business. And out of the profits of that business, we are funding somebody else. I mean, that is a network that must be built. You know, for us, and I see in all other communities in our country are doing the same thing. It's only us black people who are not doing that thing. Hey, in the pull down, syndrome. Limele thina wise like GK. Sithi vele mele uvuke ngami. Hey, mele mvuke ngawe. Hey, inkani futhi le. Enyinto, it's an obligation for us to support black businesses. Yes. It's not a choice, man. Ukuthi no wena mawubona uphethe 8,000 rand. The only thing oyicabangayo ucabanga isentini nelentuza neplaza lapha elentuza eForcebank. Huh? You never think ukuthi consciously if spend the 1,000 rand yami elokishini izo circulator leyo mali kangakanani and how much of a ripple effect it will make. Injalo makhethe. So UCAP is teaching us those lessons to be self-sufficient and self-dependent. Kungathi manje masoku really if something were to happen today, kuhamba belungu bonke benzi manufacturing la. What are we going to do? Awukwazi ukubagijimisa because mawubagijimisa uthi kubo please ungahamba. Because without you I cannot feed myself. You've got to let them go. Set them free. Why? Because remember, each and every skill to manufacture or produce anything in our country, it's amongst black people. Lendo kuti asinama skills ayikho. Who's operating lenduza mafactories? So i-resource sinayo. All we have to do is unit. So then message ukuthi hey, kukhona umuntu who was managing i-bakery ye-Albany. Uyabuya ke uza la ekhaya. Siyamfanda thina. Ngoba i-50 rand ndoda we spend almost every day ngezinto ezi-useless. Sithenga bokhokho, sithenga yonke le nonsense, i-poison esibulalayo. So if we were to put in 100 rands, ngaso sonke isikhathi and identify ama-business asimele qale ngawo, that is what we need to do. Ngoba esikhathini esiningi siyakhuluma makhethe, kepha makumele senze siyashota. Ngoba namanje there's no reason why kungena bakery at least ke esiqalethile. Banengi baba omama la namajita abakwaziyo ukwenza isingo. So why can't we do that? And this is what UCAP is calling upon us to do. Asiproduceni. Angithi UCAP uyaproduce abundance. Sikhuluma ngeabundance man. Hey, umhlaba usinikeza yonke into. Unayo yonke into that you need not only to feed yourself but to use it as a medicine. Ukudla kwethu bokusilapha thina. We're eating but at the same time we're healing ourselves. comes to Lenduza diet. Nyama. Amina uyazi mina kahle kahle ngiphahlela amadoda. Ngoba ekhaya kuyaliwa. Umama ukuphakele without inyama. Uyalwa ububesi la isini. Why? Because ayikho inyama eplatini lakho. And remember ukuthi inyama yiyo lesenza sibe aggressive. In the first place. Yiyo lesenza sibe aggressive. So the more we move away from inyama, angithi ningayidli ke makhehle. Just once in a while. Udla inyama. Bakhona abanye, you know, they come up with a scientific argument ukuthi there are certain fats that you cannot find in plants, but only in animal, you know, lentuza. Asazi, kepha sonke lokho. Injalo wena phela. Injalo. Phela ilabantu laba will find that ukuthi basafuna ukubambelela enyameni. Why we should continue inyama. Hey, remember ukuthi thina asiyazi business yamabutchery. We never had butcheries. Ngoba inkinga lento yenyama. Ithatha isikhathi to digest in your system. Yingakho mawuqeda ukudla ipapa nenyama, all you want to do ukulala. Why? Because your system is busy trying to digest lento le. Kanti mawudla, you know, njengendlovukazi. Mawudla idiet yendlovukazi la, uzizwa ulive all the time. Ungafika indoda lapha emini ngo2 ilele yakhona. Kanjani? Because you're supposed to be at work at that time. Yilokudla esikudlayo.
Keep music videos going while you text and watch uninterrupted.
And Ugab never gave us impuphu in the first place. Impuphu le ipoison eyeza nabantu abeza la. Asiyazi thina impuphu. Umbila siwazi. Amabele ke. Lesidla amabele. Irafeji yamabele ingakanani? Ingakanani irafeji yamabele? It means whatever you eat, it assists with the digestion. Because it's all about that. Hey, uLenduza Dr. Sami said it. Ukuthi isosi yonke ukugula yile mucus. What causes mucus? Acidic food. Starch wena ke. You understand? So, Ugab simbonga ngokuthi hey, usinikeze konke ukuthi siphile. But now our taste buds were now colonized. We now adopted the taste for burger, hamburger. Hey, but by promote by market as the uyakhumbula ukuthi before iMcDonald's ifika la wela busiril bayigcina bayi-own. But there was a lot of competition about the people who will own that franchise. Why? Because our taste buds have been colonized. In poison, we've turned it into something epidizal. The hamburger is poison. There's no other way ukuthi ungayikuka ngayo. Ukudla nje iflour, more especially white flour, yenzani la kusystem yakho. It shocks your system. This is what creates mucus in your system. Ilokudla esikudlayo. I say, I'm It's like the most Mkhulu Mlaba, which is simple. I'm here. Who love her? Hey, remember Utu Kep is alive. Because you are alive. Without that magnetic force, Labuwe, it operator exactly the same like the Earth magnetic force. Do you understand? So it's now time Uguti see align it properly. No gap. Ugap phela umkhulu kaHeru. uHeru thina sithi singabalandeli bakaHeru. Who gave birth to Heru? Uasa ozalwa uGeb. So ungazibuki lezi zinto lezi bese ke uzithatha literally. Sikhuluma ngemimoya, the elements. And the major isthunzi of Earth is that magnetic field. Hey. So here we need to strengthen that one. And the engine align again. Remember, Gucci, a magnet that is within us is always pointing us towards the magnetic north. Always. It's natural, it's there. Compass. Sine compass. Langa phakathi kuthini. Bathi lakithi in our nervous system kunama magnetites. Yinama magnetites. Ulbuthe. Magnet. The system here to produce is a magnetite. It means the way Earth is affected, we are also affected there, the very same way. But know yourself. Know yourself. Then everything is possible. Everything is possible. Through this magnetic field. Kutiwa we are ituma. The magnetic field. When through telepathy yako, you send this signal. Ikumane nama signals amani. Then you get a response from a positive, opposing signal. So yonke into is science. Yonke into is science. Siyeke ukubambelela kulento okuthiwa imambo jambo. Ngoba a lot of things manje zithunjwe ilelo gama. Ukuthi something that I cannot understand and explain as a human being. It means ukuthi it doesn't exist because angitholanga eUNISA. Angitholanga le indaba events. Ngakuthola futhi events. Was events. Abantu lapha, these are the best minds of our people. But bafike lapha babulawe umqondo because we are no longer able to actually think. Unikezwa i-curriculum. Kuthiwe asifuna ukwazi your ideas. All we want you to do is to answer what we've written for you. Injalo. And the more ungaphenduli kanjalo, uthi hayi no. Mina uthi ngichaze kahle lento kaNewton. Ngiqalele. Abafuna ukuzwa leso story. Ukuthi Newton bokumntwana, umnikazi wento immortal. They don't want to hear that story. You can't think. Mele nje ufaka umhlaba ufunde ukuthi uNewton uyisikora. Do you understand? And now we are very exam. Mawungashongo njalo uyafaila man. Manje, what type of education system is this? That the education. What is it that to educate? Huh? What be education? Who could light the fire that is within a person? Naturally. Ul polish air time on until it blossoms. Ungangenzi isituphunga ukuthi uzofuna manje ukuletha information from outside. uyifaka la kimi inside. Do you understand? Hey, which is what we're talking about izolo ukuthi even the Kemet virtual school, once you say me, remember, and the advantage you call, these great teachers, all over the world, bazoba part of it. Meaning ukuthi abokabakamene, you know, abomfundishi, all these great teachers say they are going to be part of it. But now, into eyodwa okumele siyazi, awukwazi ukuyofunda i-curriculum yabo gap uset. You can't do that because sizobe sikufaka on something that doesn't naturally resonate with you. Sizobe sikumashela isikhathi nawe umoshela thina isikhathi. So everything has got to be guided by calendar. Meaning ukuthi ku gap kuzobe kunama course maybe 4, 5, 7 yama course okumele uwazi about i-kingdom ka gap. And then lawo ma course ahambelana ne-potential yakho. Awukwazi ukuyofunda izinto zika anpu u-gap. Do you understand? And even your function towards a movement, you can't go and assume a responsibility that offsets when you asa. That is not how the universe is structured. The universe is structured according to a calendar. Remember, ngathi, even ilwane nezihlahla, they are bounded by the dictates of the calendar. Yingakho each and every season in a status sakho. Each and every season in a silwane sakho. It's because of that very same thing. Into yenza ukuthi singekho in alignment ukuthi senza izinto that doesn't resonate with us naturally. And that goes against the spirit of ugap. Because ugap umhlaba ozungeza ilanga. Uzungeza ilanga. And ugap sibona ngezinto ezenzakalayo ukuthi what time are we in? Do you understand? Hey, makufika ubusika siyabona ukuthi everything starts drying. The natural energy or the nurturing energy of the sun is no longer on the southern hemisphere. Asidingi ukutshelwa. Nature confirms. Even in September, nature confirms. Even in June, nature confirms. May 21 is the coldest day of the year. Why? Because the sun is at its most southern point. But on that day, it's making a U-turn, coming back towards the southern hemisphere. So a calendar is the foundation yayo yonke into. When you talk about science, you talk about elements. They are all emanating from there. Meaning what is that combination of the magnetic field of Earth and the Nale Lenduza, the energy from Gunut. So mezihlangana at a particular point. Remember, revolution is 360 again. So moikala is 0 point then becomes September. So as it moves the sun like that, do you understand? I'm at degrees. My figure would not tell. When it's closest to Earth, it's another degree. Until is Yoshona, no much. It means ukuthi ke thina ke zonke ke lezinto lezi zakamanje njengoba manje baningi sebethenga amatikiti oke Moria na yonke le ndawo ukuyobhubha le bayibiza Easter ukuyobhubha Easter. Tina, we're not supposed to partake in those things. That's foolishness. Why? Because we're on the southern hemisphere. Ugap is refusing for us to partake kulezo zinto. Remember Guti, how many people died during the holidays? Naturally, how many people died? Singwababantu all the time. More than any other season. Why? Because we are going against nature. Amadlozi ethu are resisting. Ukuthi makumele nisiphakamise nithule. Kepha liphakamisa lamadlozi encindezeli man. The oppressive spirit and energy, you are uplifting them. Then you complain, Uguti, you know, we are hated. It's not good. You complain, Uguti, we are hated so much. Huh? Remember, Uguti, yonke into iqala emoyeni. If wena uzozondwa amadlozi akho, then abantu will then manifest that physically. Why? Because umoya ukuflathela. Why? Because wena uhlubuke umoya, you have moved away from that resonance okumele ucreate all the time between izulu nomhlaba, physical and spiritual. So when there's no resonance there, you know, you can't get bese go look uyakhala hey ngiyazondo le victim mentality la kithi abantu abamnyama mele iphele. And nalento ukuthi umlungu simbeka as an excuse all the time for us not to do things. It must stop. Because akomlungu obeke igun lakithi. It's our decision, manje. And nobody, no government can stop us from doing what we want to do. So, singabi nama excuses. Because that's all we do most of the time. Hey, labantu laba, hey, labantu la, hey. Iqiniso vele likhona ukuthi somehow Lendo, it has to balance. Remember, Guti, Uma art is here. Uma art energy is here to foster that balance. Umhlaba wonke has been scale imbalance. Why? Because abantu bajule kakhulu entweni zenyama. You don't mind ukuthi uthumele ibhome Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Ukubulala nje millions of people. Manje lezo zono zenzani kithi. Zenzani kithi. Hey, so Uma art is here. That's why we spoke about the shift. When the conjunction between Jupiter and Venus happened, that was an indication of a shift. Ukuthi there's a shift in the balances of forces. NesiZulu sithi lithatha osemsamo limbeke kuphi? Lithatha osomnyango limbeke kuphi? Angithi wakunjalo before. Basikhipha kanjani? Basikhipha kanjani emsamo? Hey, basinike iBhayibheli sasala nansi. Umhlaba nomnyango gone. Injalo khetha, but manje lo msamo lo abawuthathe ngenkani awu resonate now. That is why lo msamo abawuthathe ngenkani is not producing the fruits that they expect. Now it's the time for realignment again. Yeah, no, guys, said when Umoya says, for you to build again, you must destroy. So that you are able to construct again something new. Manje South Africa sizokhala makuthiwa no le ndonga lezi mele zishe. No, but that was the justification they told us in 94. Ukuthi we entered into a compromise namabhulu to save lama buildings land. Who owns lama building? Yeah? Manje we saver. What were we saving? Hey, Maba, by now, how many years from 94? Ngabe sikuphi ke? ngabe sifana ne-Ethiopia lapha skyscrapers ezi-ownwa yithi naseNigeria. eNigeria ubona i-building ime so iyatsheka kepha i-ownwa udala. That's the thing. I-ownwa udaki. When you own foko and you produce foko manje kuthiwa igatsha elingatheleli lenzani manje kumele sibheke-ke makhehla ukuthi singanqanyuki bangasi okhokho because bayakubiza bebekubona ukuthi useless bakunikeza umsebenzi wena uwenze bakubiza sometimes very violent ukhehla kube uwe transport yakho hawu lo muntu lo umuntu beke quiet kangaka wenziswe umoya ukuthi akuvayise. How many times have we witnessed kuthiwa yena umuntu imvana yenkosi lo muntu we never even thought ukuthi is capable of doing this but ile mimoya le engakhonanga ukudlula lapha esikalini engakhonanga ukudlula lapha ingenele umuntu okuyingilosi abeyibhubezi that day asishokhe sonke. Do you understand? So these are the things of kumele sibe aware ngazo ukuthi always remember ukuthi okhokho bethu all they did kuyo yonke into bebenganandaba nento physical all they were relentless on is to create a resonance between izulu nomhlaba. Okwenzakala la emhlabeni mele kuvumelane nezulu. Ungenzi izinto namasiko esizini kaGap wena uwenze ngesizini kaOsek. It's all about that, Marcus. Timing is everything. Timing is everything. So that is why okhokho bethu isambulelo besehla kalula. Most of them, there were no universities where they went to be able to learn the architecture that they ended up, producing. Isambulelo. That thing came, it was divinely inspired. Umuntu afikele nje ihand, uthi nakho kufika umqondo nje. Omunye evuke nephupho. So. That's how we live. That's how we live. Isikolo said was to teach you to align with yourself. Because once kune alignment la kuwe, isambulelo doesn't end. Remember ubab Craig, besithi downloader every minute lwana. Hey, because the information beyiza. Limitless information. Ayikho into ubab Craig obengeka kuphendule ngayo. Whether it comes to engineering, whether it comes to whatever, ubab Craig always had the answer. And then nawe unjalo. Uyinzalo yakho ubab Craig manje uhlulwa yini wena? Ngoba that ability ubab Craig no Imhotep nabo Hatshepsut had. Hatshepsut kuthiwa is the female king who ruled the Kemet. But the way bengakhona begeze afake fake chair. She was powerful, one of the greatest queens in Kemet. Do you understand? Lento ukuthi thina singabantu abamnyama, we've always looked down upon, women. It's a lie. I-example like Umkabayi kaJama. Umkabayi kaJama presided over ubukhosi bakwaZulu for a long time. Ushaka kwaba ushaka because of Umkabayi kaJama. And it was her again who plotted the demise kaShaka. Those were powerful women. So Tina, in the African context, asinandaba ukuthi umoya uhleli kubani. If isibona ukuthi umoya uhleli kwindlovukazi, yiyo kumele isihole. Akuna ego ukuthi mina ngiyindoda ngizobusa umfazi. Thatha leyo. Zalo ubani kanjani? Injalo for you to deny, oh mama ukuthi basihole. Who gave birth to you? And that leso sibindi nje. Leso sibindi ukuthi wena you must stand up there and say ukuthi hayi umfazi akana right yokubusa. Iyenzakala leyo. Nase igodlweni eziningi. Igodlweni eziningi zifa nje. Why? Because abawuboni umoya ukuthi uhleli endlovukazi. Babheke ukuthi hayi leyankosana naleyankosana. Why? Because sesi physical, even in our royal places, sekungene the royal politics. You support it because you know ukuthi mengi supporter lendoda engena moya. But because who close to politics, mengi supporter, I will be earning every month. So our decision asebukhosini are based on that these days. It's no longer into yomoya. Ukuthi siyabuka kuzo zonke lengane ekhona la ekhaya. Ukuthi umoya uhleli kuphi ngoba angeke umoya usibhide. Sibona ngezenzo zomuntu man. Hey. So manje ke yiso ke isifundo esikhulu kabi sika Gap wena makhehla ukuthi uGap yinkosi yomhlaba. uGap is responsible for yonke into emhlabeni. And without uGap, remember Gap is that magnetic field. Without that magnetic field, kuzophila emhlabeni. Yonke impilo ayikho. As much as without that electric field, there's no life on earth. Electric field which is coming from the sun. So when a negative and positive meet, kuba nani? Hey, kuba nempilo. Hey, that's why we are able to open a TV. We plug in on it. There's a negative and a positive charge, which then produces a spark. That's why we want TV sebenza. So it's exactly the same thing. Even lapha ku-magnetic field, there's the positive and the negative. Kune positive efakayo, kune negative ekhiphayo. Injalo in life. Once we understand from that basis, we will never go wrong. And then remember, Lendole, it's embedded in our DNA. We all know this. Hey, ningathi Mkhulu is just trying to ignite that fire within you. Ignite your DNA so that you remember. Ukhumbule zonke lezinto lezi bowuzenza before ubuya. Ngoba njengoba ulakhe mhlawumbe ubuya kayi 21 or 21,000. Hey, ulokhu uyaphinda. Why? Because awukafundi isifundo. Isifundo esithi everything that you do, you need to create a resonance. Okay? That is the biggest lesson. Because without a resonance, a creator, who kept no nut, there's no life. So resonance is very, very important. Yingakho besazi ukuthi nge-23 or 22 zika lentuza zika September kunamatshe lapha enzalo yelanga. those stones are directly aligned to the stars of the Orion belt. So it means that can be proven. That's another thing about chemical science. Chemical science doesn't say kolelwa. Just believe. Ayisebenzi leyo nto leyo. Mangitshela into mele ngihlaziye. Uthini lo muntu lo? Ngambe ngiyoyenza independent research. Once I've confirmed, then ukholo automatically rises. Sengiyakholelwa kule nto because I've proven it. Yes. Chemical, science. And the younger into kokobet it can be proven. Who can deny ukuthi ilanga is going to hibernation woman? No one can deny that. Who can deny ukuthi our new year is in September? Nature confirms. Do you understand? It's not a philosophy of someone who was trying to colonize your mind to say, hi, let date yes and go. And yet there's nothing that confirms ukuthi your date year. Do you understand? So that era of being told about personal philosophies and personal visions about it's over. We are now back to nature. Nature is the source of our knowledge system. That is what Okoko used to do. They studied nature, everything, for them to discover Uguti. If of our knowledge system. That is what Okoko used to do. They studied nature, everything, for them to discover Uguti. If falcon is the fastest and flies the highest, kunazo zonke inyoni. Yingakho they chose that to represent the sun. They also say that it can look at the sun without the eyes being affected. It's a deep study that was done on that falcon. Manje ke thina sithola yonke into seyikhona. They laid the foundation for us. Thina nje mele nje sinyathele kalula. Ey'nyathelweni zabo basenzele umsebenzi. Asiyoqala phansi. Ha? Siqala phansi mele siyophikisana. Fana nento ukuthi ubantu batshele ukuthi there is what is called, the golden meridian or the 0 point crosses here in South Africa. Umuntu uzokutshela ukuthi uyagula manje. Uthi okokuqala nje uqalekile ukuthi i-0 point yini. You understand? Kunokuthi lo muntu lo yahamba yo researcher, they want to argue with you. Kuthi uyithatha le nto wena. Ngoba ngikaze ngayizwa mina. So it means ukuthi if ingafundiswanga e-university, it doesn't exist. If it wasn't said by umlomo, it doesn't exist. Do you understand? So there are so many things to prove the existence of the golden Nile meridian, the 0 point. Esuka right from le, ekemi, iyophelela le, seyochithela olwandle, kula siyakhona ngoJune. We will be at that very same point. Mayichitha manje seyichithela olwandle, kula se receive khona. Do you understand? So these are things lazy, they are easily, researched. You can confirm them yourself. Do you understand? Yeah. So my limitations. Remember I said, Western education has its own limitations. Why? Because they focus on everything that is manifested. They are not interested in the causal plane. And we live in 3 dimensions. The causal, the astral, and the physical. These are the dimensions of our existence. Do you understand? So manje asikwazi reject everything which pertains to ikoza and the etherical, plane. Why? Because abanye abantu baya reject leyo nto leyo. Tina, we're masters on those. That is why we are mastering the principles. Ukuthi makuhlangana i-principle or the element of a uset ehlangana no-anti. This is the result. And leyo nto ungayiprova elebhi yakho lapha ekhaya. Hey, asiyinto ongazulinde wena thatha lele ntuza, element ka-antu, uthathe ne-element ka-set, uzihlanganise ubone ukuthi nawa imotel. They know ukuthi some of these elements they can't fuse together. Do you understand? They are rejectors, they cause combustion. Hey, mawuzihlanganisa. Do you understand? So, kukhulunywa ngama elements. That is science. Kukhulunywa ngama frequencies. The natural frequencies of earth. What really gives you ama feelings? Those are frequencies. As prevalent here on earth. And that is gap frequencies. Yingakho kuthiwa ugap uyena owenzela umphahlo amadlozi. Because before kuba namanye ama frequencies kumele kube no gap. Kuthiwa la encwadini ku calendar amadlozi adla ukudla kukagap. Aphinde aphuze isiphuzo sikaba. Hey. Umhlaba. Thina sikusho lokhu ngokugcwala. Because now asisakhulumi nje ngelifathi. You remember ukuthi a lot of people when they talk about umhlaba, they are talking about the physical soil. Lo mhlaba owathathwa kithi. Thina sesidlulile la. Siyayibona the physical soil. But manje i-interest yethu more it is lesithunzi. Ipower ikulesithunzi sikagap. You need to understand lesithunzi. Singanamandla. Labantu laba tai chi. Yini tai chi? Laba bakhona manipulate le energy. Umuntu akushaya ngempama la, ula. Wathi ufile ngathi ukushaya ngestina. It's there. It's proven. Hey, abanye other nations they master this and izinto zakho muntu omnyama. You started zonke lezinto. You are the first one to start and demonstrate this power. Abanye sebe praise uChairman Mao. uChairman Mao uwe phela. Uye bekemisa the whole country. Makufika u12 for 11. Athi asambeni sonke so manipulate the image. The whole country used to partake. That is why China it's what it is today. Because they had the foundation right, man. Hey, the whole country would stop. Yenzo zonke lezi zinto lezi kuconnectwa nomoya. Then abantu babuyele emsebenzini. Manje thina siyavuka nje, siyala. Siyavuka siyala. Ayikho into esiyenza as a collective. Yini into esiyenza as a collective? Ha? Ngoba sikhomelana ngamasondo. Hayi umromo ungcono kuno Catholic. Ungcono kuno Protestant. Ungcono kunayo lentuza. Buka iChina got a foundation. That is why China is regarded as a superpower today. China was like us almost 50 or 60 years ago. It was exactly like us. But they were fortunate to have visionary leadership. Who gave Chinese a good foundation? China namhlanje. That is why America is reacting so negatively. China owns more than 2/3 of the stock markets as America. So Americans are insecure now about the Chinese. That is why they're now implementing laws that would then stifle growth in China. Jealous there. China nina many busy. Nibulala bantu all over the world. Tina siya connect. Tina siya produce. Do you understand? So it's the very same thing as Oyenza. Remember Kuti Africa is the virgin territory for our technologies, our names that are still to be produced. Africa, you know, continent. Mkhulu Mlaba, mengithi Africa is going to be the superpower. Africa is going to be the superpower because Africa is the last frontier. Ngathi mina uma lo moya so align nathi kahle. Igold yethu ngeke siyilande ngebhamu kuQueen. Uzovuka one day ashiswa into la emzini. Athe thathani yonke lento yenu. And they are bringing back ama artifacts as Africa. Yimipahlo yethu. That's African people. You understand? So it means ukuthi Tina, we need to get ready. We need to get ready. Ukuthi sibuse again. And the sibuse umoya. Ama ego. Awasasebenzi lakithi. I-ego ayisasebenzi makhehla. I-power isemoyeni. I-power is understanding that magnetic field. It's too nzibeza. If you can master that, ungaproduce grapes man. Hey, ungaproduce amanzi. Ungenza la elokishini ngengasho futhi ngathi the reason why mhlambe kunama earthquakes amaningi emhlabeni is because umoya is trying to bring the oil back home. Do you understand? So Tina, when we are ready to lead lo mhlaba, uzothi ugubha la ejardini, ubone igold. Do you understand? Hey, uthi ulapha elentuzeni emasimini lapha, ubone nje something emnyama nje iphuphuma ithi. Uzwa kuthiwa igold nama diamond ayaphela in our country. Kepha mina ngithi afihlwa okhokho. They are making it difficult for these people to access. But abanikazi, when they are in their position, everything is going to come. You know, phezulu again. Mining bayibiza land. If you mine not deep. Open cast money. Mining yethu izoba njalo. Uyothuya nje lapha emfuleni. Wonke umuntu futhi diamond yobedlala abantwana. Hey, today bakopha diamond. Today you get arrested for gold. Today you get arrested for platinum in your own country. Why? Because umlungu usho njalo. Yeah? Even if ungathola igold la kuzoza le phukuphuku ze government sithi awunamvume wena ukuzolentuza ukwemba leyo gold. This is what they do in some of these concessions le ngaphandle. Kufike i-Anglo American or i-Billiton in the company i-PHP ifike izobulldozer in your own land. Ithi iBilliton nginemvume to mine. I own the mineral rights. You own the surface rights. Yindombe. Huh? It means ukuthi umuntu osuka le Australia is given the right over you.
Historical disadvantage South Africa.
No, but mina I've experienced it because I was in mining before. I know what I'm talking about. Abantu lemakhaya bayahlupheka. Kufika nje companies bulldozer. Seyahomba la emhlabeni wakho. Awuna right yokumstopa lo muntu because your own government has given that foreign company a right to mine minerals in your own land.
Using a fake printed paper called money, which
Yeah,
does not
okay.
exist. And you buy something real, which is gold, using something which is fake, you can produce at any time.
No, njalo. Buga mina, I always say Guti, in future, there might not even be a need for us to be mining the way we are mining. Because the more we mine these minerals, what are we doing to the earth's surface? How is earth going to sustain other generations that are to come? Masiloko sehomba. Sifunani gold lephansi. Ngoba gold is a combination of elements, man. You can produce the gold, eleb. Okokobet did it. That is why they were called the chemists. Hey, chemistry, the mystery of black people. But that they extract carbon and hydrogen, produce gold. So man, because they are devout of that ability and the intelligence of understanding the minerals and how to mix them. They resolve to go home. Do you know, Guti, for you to be able to take 3 grams of gold, how much earth oil humba? Ukubunko jongaga, just to keep on 3 grams of gold. There's no intelligence in that. There's no intelligence on that. And basically, I call it, you know, environment of earth. It's poisonous. It's over poisonous value because you have removed something that balances the energy. Yenzani gold lapha njengoba uyikhomba. Yenzani lapha. And then nakhona ile greed. You want more and more and more. Destroying earth. Yibo namhlanje sebekhuluma ngale ilentuzo yini global warming. Mawungabheki Africa, you look at the map of environment as Africa. We are much better than the rest of the world. We are much better. It means sisa khabula. Remember ngathi kwini. Before there was no need for us to eat physical food. Because the environment or the energy that was prevalent then gave us uksuta. Bovuka nje uyokhabula lo moya we are okay for the day. Mawulamba futhi uyahlala samo ukhabule. Right, there's no need for physical. Because yini lento idlala. Is it not the same element? It's the same element because you are trying to digest ukudla. For you to ukulentuza ukukhipha lento ekwelapha kule cabbage. It's the very same thing in the environment. So that is why we ended up eating food. Why? Because umoya lo awusekho clean. Do you understand? Then again, sesiya zamake ukuthi supplement ngokuthi manje sengiyayidla. Kumanje sesidla ama-GMO. That is why whether you like it or not, you need a supplement in your body. abo-iron, abo-potassium, zonke lezi zinto lezi. Mele uzithathe manje as a supplement. Because nokudla kwethu kuyingozi. It's poison. Balokho bakutshela ukuthi uzoproduce more when you use ama-GMOs. Remember ukuthi in the DNA of that plant, kukhona into abayikhiphile. And you don't know what's the long-term effect. Yeah, le nto abayikhiphile, wena sowudla something eshota nga-something. And I understand ukuthi kungani, kunezifo ezingaka, ezingapheli. And remember ukuthi even in medicine itself, medicine profession is not supposed to heal. It's supposed to pacify and deal with the symptoms so that you become a perpetual customer to the pharmacy. So our healing was completely different. Thina mawugula sishaya amathambo sibuza umoya ukuthi iblockage kuphi. Hey, la emoyeni iqala, because we can't treat the physical without treating umoya. And the umoya siwutreata ngokumela isizini yakhona. Awukwazi ukuthi utreate amadolo ngesikhathi sokutreata amehlo. Manje sesiyaphilisa nje. It means mawungena la ufuna anything yakunika. Noma ngazi ukuthi hey lento ngeke isebenze. Do you understand? So that is how we healed. We had a comprehensive view of things in general. We knew ukuthi umuntu kabili umoya nenyama. And the nyama affects umoya. When you heal the spirit, the physical gets healed automatically. So if you concentrate on healing the body, you end up unama chemicals that are so dangerous, for your system. Why? Because you are not dealing with the root cause of the problem. The problem is emoyeni. Fana nento ukuthi ulokhu uthola ama accidents. Why? Ushawa into ongayiboni. Mawushaya umoya, ushawa into ongayiboni. So mele uyofuna ukuthi la moyeni konakale kuphi. If mhlamba ngenzelwanga imbeleko, if mhlamba kwenzakalanga lokho, if mhlambe ngathi ukugogo, if mhlambe ngashaya umama ngempama, if mhlambe ngenza into wrong kubaba, creator isikweletu emoyeni, you will never be healed until uzisolve leyo. Uzohamba uye eMalawi uye eZambia uyofuna inyanga ngeke sikwenzele fokolo. Why? Because kunale yanto okusamele uyilungishe. So it's all gap market. Kuthiwa isizini ya gap, isizini yabathakathi. So umele sigade. Aboke abathakathi. Abantu bamakhubalo. So manje kumele nje sibanqene sibalane ukuthi hayi makhe ningabhekisi kithi lamakhubalo. Ade indawo la kumele khona. But manje labantu vele kuthiwa abalaphi bafana namagela. Abantu abazi imithi without kuyokuthwasela. Do you understand? Abantu abafundiswa umoya kuthiwa lapha kulesa siganga ngase station, hamba lapho uzofike uthole iplant eso. Kukhona umuntu ozofika kusasa, lo muntu unenkinga ethize umnikezele yona. Afike vele lo muntu loyo umnikeze lo nto aphile. Do you understand? Umhlaba. Siyanisaba makhe. Yingakho nje mesikhuluma nani sibuya nganeno ngoba labantu bayingozi abazi benzani mebefika ekhaya abanikazi bomuthi abathakazi abogema abathakazi but abantu abangasibuyeza remember ukuthi ubuthakathi kithi abufani ne-perception yabelungu. Do you understand? Lendo bathi ubuthakathi kithi thina siyibiza ngescience. Do you understand? If ukhona ukuthi uhlanganise impande yalo yamuthi, why? Because ine element ethize nalo yamuthi ukukhanda izulu. That's science. That is science. Not only ukuthi uyihlanganise kepha telepathically uyithumele at a particular house. Ifike lapho hayi eceleni. That's superior science. Okumele i-redirect kahle. Ngalokho sishayana ngezulu.
Shayela amagende.
Ayodwa siyabadinga.
Abobani.
Okay.
Asiyabadinga. And not only abathakathi labantu yibo abantu okumele basibuyisele umhlaba. Sasho lapha eCredo Muto. I-fixation yabo ukuthi how do we use ke le potential esinayo ukuthi sithole umhlaba wethu. Ngalokho uthi ugap salo lokho sikhala ngomhlaba ukhona kanjani? Kanjani? Ngoba yini okumele niyiphakele lento? Yini okumele niyiphakele lento ukuze lento sibone ngezenzo ukuthi hayi no imphahlo yalamadoda uyasebenza. Buka kwenzakalani? Buka kwenzakalani? Buka kwenzakalani? Abogeba banikazi makhaya. So mele sibanike indima yabo. Fana nabo Sahmed. Sahmed. Kuthi abo Sahmed ama purifier. They purify. Yonke into impure. They purify it. So mele sibona ngezenzo zabo ukuthi basipurify nala emqondweni obafaka more poison. Do you understand? Mele si understand lo. So mele si understandane at that level ukuthi no mengifuna isiviko kahle kahle. Mengadonsa uSahmed, ngidonsa uSet. Yeah. It is here. Ngokungama lama principle amabili singavimba into eyiningi. Do you understand? So kancane we will get there. Siyabonga nje ku gap umhlaba ukuthi you know yonke into esiyiyo yonke into esinayo you know we give glory and reverence to umhlaba. Siyabonga makhaya. Asiqhubeke you know mhlambe if kukhona imibuzo clarification sizwe ukuthi singayiphendula kanjani ukuthi mhlambe wena uzwe kanjani i-lecture kagema. And remember ukuthi sikhuluma ngalezi zinto so that you are able to testify at the end of ugema. Wonke umuntu just that siyesakhohlwa last week. Bokumele sinikeze wonke umuntu ithuba atestify ukuthi uHeri umthinte kanjani. Manje misikhumbule leyo makhehla noma sikhohlwa kepha sikhumbuzana. Leyo isemqoka ngoba iChemet ithi ungezwa ngumkhulu. You need to experience yourself. Then you testify based on your experience. Ukuthi this is how I was affected by this season. So I'm hoping ukuthi kuzoba njalo ke towards the end. So if we can imbuzo
okubayeza bangoma baphumolwandle
Ukuze ukuthi kunesizathu why amasotsha asebenzisa le color brown again. Is there any resonance behind it? About imoto zabo, it's brown. Brown.
I think Bona, it's not a deep spiritual. It's just camouflage. Camouflage about fuser. In the color umhlaba. So that as they do their evilness of killing people, but I don't think they've gone even that far in terms of understanding. Lento kagep ukuthi mesikhuluma ngayo sikhuluma.
Manje uma uthathela umhlaba ngenkani ku-right ukukhahlela ngugeba ukubonga isikhathi kageba umhlaba olwenze khona like mawuthola umhlaba omkhulu uthathile nje wawukhipha ngisho like kumele mhlawumbe kumele ucele and if uyawucela or uyawubonga hayi ukucela ukubonga isikhathi esiright ukubonga ngugeba.
No, sure. This is right list. And remember ukuthi ukuthathwa komhlaba wethu it's fictitious. It's not real. Because iphepha lento ebamba umhlaba wethu. It's not real. Umhlaba wethu ngeke bawuthatha. Inkinga ile phepha nale system. Yeah. Hey, basikhohlise ngale phepha but that is all in nonsense nje. It's fictitious. It's not real ukuthi umhlaba wethu vele ungathathwa. Ukhona umlungu ongalayisha umhlaba wethu ongene nawo claiming. The day leskepe sabu Jesus sobalanda bazohamba nomhlaba wethu. Bazowushiya la ngithi. So manje it means ukuthi yifake lento abasifunza yona ukuthi siwuthathile umhlaba wethu. Abakawuthatha umhlaba wethu inkinga nje yilama politicians. If ngabe labantu bebehluzekile la emakhaya angeke bazovumela umlungu azoproducer iphepha belingekho eAfrica. Title deed asiyazi thina. Uyini lo phepha? Uzakimi uthi ne title deed uthatha. Uyinikeza ubani lo title deed? Because uMakhado never issued a title deed. Umantatise never issued a title deed. Upambata never issued a title deed. Upambata was a wayilwela lento. Hey, khanda pona. Mele ubhadala tax manje emhlabeni. Uyabona ukuthi ukusikhohlisa. Ukusikhohlisa. It's not real lento ukuthi bathatha umhlaba. Bavunyelwe yilaba friends abo lama politicians ukuthi basichaphaze ngephepha because that's how they are fooling us. Oh no, I have ownership of your land. Who gave you ownership of that land? Uthatha lelo phepha. Ngoba le paper lize nawe. You brought this paper. Hey. And the paper haikuthi la developer huwe. Yi paper belikhona kithi. Kepha we never issued abantu amaphepha. Wena uza nobutsotsi bakho. Tagari theft. Uzo justify ngale paper. Umhlaba wethu will never be taken. Into nje kumele sidile nayo ile system. Okumele iwe. Yingakho kuthiwa you can't demand the return of the land without the destruction of the system that is holding the land. Destroy the system, then umhlaba goes back naturally where it was. And usukwe uwenzani uma destroy system? Udabula iphepha. The fake paper yeza nabelungu. Bayibiza ukuthi constitution. I constitution yobutsotsi. lapha kulentuza ku-constitution banalento le eyenziwa bo Thabo Mbeki bayibiza i-sunset clause. Hey, nge-94 uThabo says himself, we offered amabhunu i-sunset clause. Amabhunu azange zayiqele leyo. That's why amabhunu namhlanje ethi we never ask for forgiveness from you. Basho njalo arrogantly. Niqale ubani ukuthi nisixolele. Niqale uba. That's what they say. Ngoba thina silokho siya phambili no reconciliation nonsense. Reconciliation yanda. Ungaka balance izinto. You only reconcile once you have balanced izinto. Umuntu abuyisile what was taken from you. So inkinga yethu ile system nalabantu abayiphusha. Once kwadila and esodila na. Kancane siphethe labantu. Futhi mongababuka bonke babuke la emehlweni. They are not happy people. Kodwa bashukumuzayo la ngaphakathi. Umoya wabo ukulanga. Ngoba amakhehla bafikela njalo ebusuku. Uthi nenza. Uthi mawubhekile amehlo nje uyambona ukuthi u-stress lo muntu. Akafani nami nawe, mina nawe sihile. Stress ayomthi. Thiyakoza.
Mkhulu, ngifuna nge-666 wathi yayingamesi nayo kanjalo. Manje ngifisa ukwazi kanjani ngoba nami uma kune-666 ngiyafanele ngithathe
Okay, I-666 is the chemical signature of carbon.
Yes.
It has 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons. And when umzimba wako, what gives you the pigmentation is that carbon. They also call melanin. So that is a chemical signature of who you are. So was ukuyithuka lento oyiyo wena.
Ukubhalisa kancane khona incwadi engibhizi nayo manje it's black root science. I-black root science is the same concept. Iqiniso liyi-one. Singalikhuluma njengama-Africa because differently based on our culture and background. But it all comes to one point. In terms of understanding the origin, thina njengabantu bamampela or bangempela, the originals, we have to understand ukuthi from our perfection ububi asibazi, hence abangoni nani. But for the experience of evil, we had to take difficult decisions because we had to experience lento abathi evilness. Hence we partaked in terms of the experiment to remove the melanin from our perfect beings and produce these imperfect beings. The first period, as I understand, according to the Black Root science, it took 200 years, whereby there was careful breeding of this of us in a secured environment, more like an island or test club or whatever. It took 200 years to produce the first beings. If I'm not mistaken, those first beings were classified as those with black hairs, more like the Italian. From those Italians, as the first group, after 200 years, they continued to breed them to produce the second breed, which is the Arabs, after 200 years. So now it's 400 years. And now from the Arabs to continue breeding them to produce the yellow race, which is the third race. Now the melanin is totally out, or it's becoming suppressed as they go with this period. Now from the yellow race, it took them 66 years to produce what is called a white or a recessive total gene, which is the Caucasians. Hence, from that point, everything that they are doing, they are regressing. They are not progressing biologically and any other way. So from the first point of Ilontuza, from the first point of mutation, it took them 666 years to produce the first pure white, hence it's called the mark of the beast. From the first 200 years, which is the Dutch Reinama Italian, 200 years to the Arabs, 200 years to the yellow race, which is called the Chinese, and 200 years to the pure white without those genes, which is 66 years. All the mark of the beast, which is 666. That's how Black Crew Science defined that as well, to support it in another angle. Thank you.
Historiska lendo tabayibiza ukuthi uyakhupha.
Yeah.
process.
Uyakhupha when lezo zinto bathi it took abantu abayizinkawu. Wayobabeka in an island somewhere for him to produce a completely different race, and it was intentional. And bathi uyakhupha lo ukuda. It was a black person. But manje kube ngale argument futhi ukuthi thina we are test. When you talk about the Anunnaki, you talk about Enki and Enlil. Those are the people who actually created. This is according to Zachariah 16. And this is what Tubab Credo used to talk about as well. Tina were created to be slaves, for the Anunnaki. The Anunnaki were looking for God. So there are all these things, as it called. But Tina Sila. One thing which is positive, it's confirmed. We are the original race. That is what is important. Lokho kunye kwenzakalani, it's there. Siyakwazi, it's in the back of our mind. But manje, that importance yethu, it's not something that is claimed. It's something that is a lived experience based on what Africans did before. Do you understand? Based on that, we are then able to deduce, Tina kahle kahle. Yingakho manje sesibuyela kuphi emoyeni. Because we have rediscovered the importance yomoya. Ukuthi without moya asilutho. Do you understand? So ilapho makhetha but ilapho khetha. The first stop and leyo 666 ihambelana ne 9 DNA strands. We are the only race with a 9 DNA strand. All of them ziphelela la ku 6. Yingakho ke labantu laba, they are so envious of that. They always want to push you to vibrate at that level. Do you understand? So Tina, we need to rise above and ascend like Heru. Ukuthi Tina, we don't asibelongi la emhlabeni kuphela. Inyoka senza njengoHeru siyithathe from la emhlabeni. Why? Because la emhlabeni is comfortable. The only way so dila ngayo inyoka asikhuphule sibeke lapho phezulu. Sidile ngayo ngoba uncomfortable. So Israel said to us, got to be like that. You can't face a belungu ku battlefield yakhe. They are comfortable. Banama hydrogen bomb laba. Bayipressa manje yonke into yaphela. So manje mele ubabeke laba uncomfortable khona. That's the only way we are going to win this war. More yakhe. Ba weak ngithi la. So manje ungafuna ukuba challenge nawe ngabo AK47. Awuzolimala nje. Baphahlele nje. Baphahlele nje finish. Uhlukane nabo uzobona umoya uzodila nabo.
Masibaphahlela sibaphahlela ngani sisebenzisana.
hayi ukuphahla kwethu lokho esikwenzayo
Bona lo.
lo mphahlo esiwenzayo Makhehla ubukeka ngathi into useless ngoba it's so easy to do and it's powerful. It's power. Lo mphahlo uncibikisa intaba incibike ithi. That is exactly what's going to happen. So lo mphahlo wesizwe yiko is so important, and yingakho sithi we need to do this collective mphahlo singabantu abamnyama sonke. When it comes to 12-6 again sonke senza lo mphahlo. 10 years is enough. Yonke into yethu izobuya once singenza njalo, then ipower yethu will be back. So singafuni ukulwa nabelungu kule risk kule field yabo, battlefield yabo. Hayi no, so sohluleka la. Angeke futhi size silunge la. Mele senze njengokhozi inyoka siyibeke la. Ngithi bayinyoka. Mele sibabeke lapha sidile nabo. Le phezulu. Ngoba abakhona ukwenza nick, they can't maneuver la. That's why they even term that a mambo jump. But I sebenzi yonke lento. And the Tina we are masters of that. Secret. Ukhona umbuzo.
Timeline? Rather a compliment or acceptance speech. Oh, yes.